Good morning, everybody. I'm Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged stock market pre-show giving you the politics behind the greatest moves in the stock market. It's presented with comedic common sense by an expert in financial literacy, and that's me, Larry Steinhouse. All right, today is Wednesday, December 8th, and welcome to the show. We are here live on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia, and we are live on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube. Just a reminder, if you're watching this show online, hit that like button, hit that share button. I already see Vincenzo is saying hi. Awesome, man. Thank you so much. And you can, of course, comment live during the show on all of those channels like YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter as well. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. Money Chat Now is brought to you by Investor Schooling, and you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com. There you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading by those who do it every day. Hey, you can even meet me there. I'll be there as well. All right, on today's show, we're going to be discussing the futures update. We're going to be discussing the fact that, yep, Main Street hates Biden too. We're also going to be talking about it being a bad year for IPOs. We're going to be talking about the fact that American Airlines has a new CEO. We're going to be talking about Amazon Web Services outage, and that was an interesting thing yesterday. We're going to be talking about the debt ceiling and what that means to the stock market. We're going to be talking about Trump's social media platform. Ooh, Kellogg's strike. Nope, that's not a new cereal. That's the actual thing that happened. And we're going to be talking about Visa and crypto. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on in the futures. All right, yesterday was another great day. You know, the fears of the moronic variant left the building, basically, right? And the Dow was up over 500 points, and most of the sectors continued their growth for the week. It was pretty awesome. You know, so at the beginning of the day today, I looked over at the futures, and the futures were down just a little bit. It wasn't that bad. It was just down a little bit, and I kind of expected a slight slowdown. But interestingly enough, of course, you know, just a few minutes ago, Pfizer comes out and goes, if you take our booster shot, you will be fine against the moronic variant. I'm sorry, the Omicron variant. I mean, seriously? Is this really how the world works, that we have to manipulate stocks this way? But okay, that's fine with me because it boosted the Dow futures up 112 points. The S&P is now up almost 14 points, and the Nasdaq is up 44 points. So these are all good things for me. I don't care. You wanna, you know, you wanna manipulate the stock market with your booster shot? Go right ahead. All right, let's talk a little bit about how everybody hates Biden. Remember that show, Everybody Loves Raymond? Everybody hates Biden. All right, there are so many reasons, obviously, to hate the socialist in charge, Joe Biden. You know, things like gas prices rising to new highs, out of control inflation, his plan to raise taxes, the Pacific Ocean backlog, his unconstitutional vaccine mandates, you know, the Build Back Broker bill, and of course his all-out poor job performance. But now, here's what's interesting. Now, even the non-Republicans are chiming in with their disapproval of how he's handling small businesses. At this point, just 34% of all small business owners approve of how Gestapo Joe is handling business in their towns. Only 22% of small business owners say the Biden administration has been good for small businesses. Now, I'm guessing that the people who own the Trump store and the Let's Go Brandon stores are at the top of the people approving the administration's handling of small businesses. After all, President Poopy Pants has been great for their business. Normally, it would be understandable for a Democrat, to have a low approval rating among business people because most entrepreneurs are Republicans. Democrats tend to stay home and figure out, you know, how they can live off other people, either through benefits or through jobs. So it's understandable that Republicans would hate him. But in this case, the independents who own businesses that usually have no opinion about a president are really voicing their opinion on topics like inflation, supply chain, vaccine and mask mandates. You know, we talked yesterday about how, you know, the dictator de Blasio is going to make everybody get the vaccine in order to go to work. I mean, seriously, unbelievable, right? So these are some of the things that are going on, right? It also appears that there's some hope for the company, for the country, as the people start to realize that when you put someone in charge of a country who has failed for over 40 years in politics, he will fail as the president as well. Well, maybe, just maybe, we can get the blood-sucking politicians out of office soon and save this country. Look, if you're watching online, please leave a comment on how President Poopy Pants is affecting your business positively or negatively. And be honest. If President Poopy Pants is affecting your business positively, let me know. If it's affecting it negatively, let me know, and let me know how. So if you're online, leave those comments so I can take a look and we can talk about those in a minute. I want to say hello to Mick. Mick, hi, hey Mick, hey Eric. I see everybody online saying hi. And there we go. All right. Let's talk a little bit about how it's been a bad year for IPOs. So this year, we saw many initial public offerings, or better known as IPOs. This is when a company goes public and sells its stock to you or other investors, basically to raise capital. So this year, 50 companies launched their IPO, and all of them pretty much tanked. It's kind of rough, right? Some of them have lost close to half of their value. I'm going to tell you, I was a big believer in Robinhood, and Robinhood was one of the biggest disappointments as its stock sits at about 23 after losing more than 6% yesterday and about, maybe 40% since the beginning. LegalZoom is another one that keeps dropping from its high in July. And we also saw Rivian. Now, Rivian was an interesting one. Rivian was the joint venture between Amazon and Ford, and it's actually up from its IPO, but it dropped substantially from hitting its peak a couple of days after the opening. I'm going to say it's actually going to go down further as well. Coinbase is another disappointment as its stock hit a high of almost 430. Remember the IPO on that? I don't know if you guys. It was like Christmas time on the news when all the news channels, the business news channels, when the IPO started out. Anyway, it now steadies in the 250 to 310 range, and I'll tell you, it's a good play. I've also said that that IPOs are tricky, and I've noticed that IPO stocks often fall below their IPO price, but then come roaring back in about a year. Facebook's and Snap are perfect examples of this. If you want to look back at the history of Facebook and Snap, I remember I was buying Facebook options when Facebook was at 17 and the IPO was 42. So I'm also going to expect Robinhood to be in the 50 range next year as it expands more into crypto. Rivian, I'm going to tell you, it's a great play, and like I said before, I'm waiting for it to go below 90. If you look at some of the other names like Roblox and Squarespace and ZipRecruiter, Amplitude, and Warby Parker, you'll also see that these also launched their IPOs, and the shares of each are down anywhere between 20 and 50% from their high. Look, wait it out. If you're in there, just hang in there and look for some bargains and pounce. And hey, again, if you guys are online, if you guys have had any issues with your small businesses, let me know online. All right, let's talk a little bit about American Airlines' new CEO. And who was it? It was Mick online is saying, let's go AAL. We're going to talk about that in a couple of minutes because Pfizer and their announcement made it go up. But let's talk about, first of all, American Airlines' new CEO. One of my favorite stock picks, American Airlines, has a new CEO. Now, the current CEO, Doug Parker, is stepping down. Now, this is interesting. Parker has been the CEO for American Airlines from the time of 9/11 terrorists to the current COVID government overreach terrorism. The part of his tenure, the great part of his tenure, I should say, is the fact that he negotiated with the government to win $54 billion in federal aid to cover payroll expenses to keep thousands of people employed during the scamdemic, otherwise known as COVID. Parker literally started his job 10 days, check it out, 10 days before 9/11. Could you imagine? He started on September 1st, 2001. Poof. So he started 10 days before the 9/11 terror attacks, and now hopefully 10 days after he steps down, the government terror attacks will then pull back. I'll let that one sink in. All right, Robert Issam will be replacing Parker. And look, I'll tell you, the stock didn't move much on the news, and that's good. The stock has been recovering since the Omicron bull dinky scare last week, and I believe this is a good one. I'm a big fan of AL. I think it's a great play. I've been suggesting to play this stock for the past week, and I still think it's going to go back into the low 20s pretty quickly. All right, let's talk a little bit about what's going on with what happened yesterday with AWS. Amazon Web Services, who hosts most of the biggest websites and internet comment sites, crashed yesterday. Look, some of the companies that had a disruption of services included Disney's streaming service subscription, Disney Plus, Netflix, Slack, Ticketmaster, and of course the stock trading app Robinhood, and of course Coinbase. Well, look, it was extremely frustrating to many users of these web services, but Amazon themselves also had major issues with the system being down, as the delivery fulfillment system was down for several hours. Hey Alexa, where's my package? Amazon didn't comment on if it was a terror attack or just a normal breakdown. And you know we're never going to find out either, but that's fine. Well, the services, of course, have been restored, but it really makes you wonder about the problems we will have if there is a major outage or a major terror attack on all the systems we rely on. I've been saying this for a while. It's going to happen. Look, it may happen for an hour, it may happen for a day, it may happen for a long time, but it's going to happen. The internet's going to go down. Be prepared for it. Anyway, Amazon stock actually rose about 100 points yesterday, so clearly the stockholders weren't concerned either. Let's talk a little bit about the debt ceiling. You know, I had stated that the debt ceiling issue would be rearing its ugly head again, and here we are. All right. However, the good news, well, I guess the good news for stock market and not necessarily the good news for the American people is that Mitch McConnell, by the way, whose side is he on anyway? I can't figure this guy out. But he basically gave carte blanche to the Democrats to do as they please with the debt ceiling. He basically, pushed the bill through that would allow the Senate to raise the country's borrowing limit with a simple majority vote. This means that the Democrat-controlled Senate does not need any Republican votes to pass the increase in the debt ceiling. All right, I know what you're thinking, I know what you're thinking. Why would McConnell or any Republican allow this to happen? All right, so I think logically, and I'm going to explain what I believe is what's going on. All right, basically the debt ceiling increase has to be passed. Look, it's going to be passed. There's no doubt it's going to be passed. It always is, and even if it gets delayed, the government workers go on furlough, and guess what? They get paid a few weeks later for their free vacation anyway. So McConnell, he must think that if the Democrats have the power to raise the debt ceiling, the consequences of raising the debt ceiling can be blamed on just the Democrats. So why fight it? It's very simple. He's basically saying, hey, let them make the decision, so when they make the decision because they see what they did, whatever. You know, at the same time, it's going to be passed anyway, so although I don't know what this guy's doing, but he actually is making it easier for the stock market. So it's good news for the stock market. And of course, it won't cause a major reason for a sell-off, and that's why I like the idea. I think it'll be fine. Don't worry. Don't panic. All right, let's take a break real quick, and we will talk to you in about a minute.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse. And of course, if you'd like more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or you can call 866-424-2829. Hey, I want to thank everybody on WWDB for listening. And let me know what you think so far. If you're watching online, please hit the share button. And this way you can help your friends learn about how to make more money with some of the great stock plays I'm going to be talking about in the future. Of course, hit that like button. Let me know you're enjoying the show. And you can leave comments on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and YouTube, and I will try to respond to them live. Hey, I want to shout out also to Tommy and Wendy. Thanks for joining us this morning. I really appreciate it. And Sonam, I believe that's his name. Thank you very much so much for watching. All right, so far we've been discussing the futures update, and the Dow is up 109 points. That's awesome. The S&P is up 15, and the NASDAQ is up 53. It could still be a pullback day, So don't get too excited yet because it's just kind of sitting there. Even though Pfizer comes out and says, "Hey, if you take the booster shot, you will be protected from Omicron." Yeah, okay, whatever. We also talked about the fact that Main Street hates Biden. We talked about it being a bad year for IPOs, American Airlines New CEO, and of course the fact that Amazon was out yesterday. Hey Alexa, where's my package? We talked about the debt ceiling being passed, or going to be passed, obviously. And let's talk a little bit about what's going on with Trump's social media and, of course, Kellogg's strike. Because this is going to be very interesting what's going to go on with Trump's social media company going on. All right, here we go. All right, so first of all, Trump, if you guys know, Trump, right, we've all heard about the new social media app that Trump plans to launch. Like, he's basically going to compete with Fascist Book and Twitter after they banned him from their social media platforms. You know, the app is going to be called Truth Social. I love it. It's great. It's going to be Truth Social. It's going to be all Republicans on there, but it's fine. It'll be interesting, and all conservatives. But it'll be interesting that it'll be Truth Social. I can imagine all the trolls are going to be on it as well. Anyway, this is going to be formed through a SPAC. So for those of you who don't know what a SPAC, SPAC stands for Special Purpose Acquisition Company. This is a company that has no commercial operations and is formed strictly to raise capital through an initial public offering for the purpose of acquiring or merging with an existing company. So basically, they're just raising money. It's like any other fund. They're raising money and they're going to create this company that's going to create this social media app. Okay, so basically the existing company that Trump plans to merge with is called Digital World Acquisition Company, and the symbol is DWAC. By the way, the stock DWAC jumped yesterday on the news that the SEC is investigating the merger. Right, they went up 10 points on the news that the SEC is investigating the merger. Look, they must know as well as we do that every time Trump is investigated, he comes up clean. The investigation, by the way, was about the fact that the stock took off from $10 price tag to almost $100 price tag in 2 days. Really? You need an investigation to know how this happened? Look, Trump is super popular. He's the golden child. He's going to make it work. Whether he makes it work or not, he's going to make it work. But then you find out who actually was pushing the agenda and the investigation, you understand what happened. Guess who it was? It was Elizabeth Warren, of course. So Elizabeth Warren is pushing the investigation. So she should actually be investigated for harassment for this investigation. Look, I'm looking forward to this social media app. However, I don't think it's going to take over the world. I think it'll be great for a small group of people. Like you and I will have a little bit of fun with it. But I still think Fascist Book will always rule the playing field. So interestingly enough, I'm going to talk about Facebook, or actually Meta, with the symbol FB being a great play. All right, let's talk about Kellogg's and the Kellogg strike. I smell a rat in the Kellogg factory. Did you ever notice the silly rat blow-up dolls at the site of striking union employees? Well, I'll bet they're all going to be shipped to the Kellogg's plant in Michigan, Nebraska, Pennsylvania, and Tennessee, where about 1,400 union members went on strike on October 5th. I don't know if you guys knew about this, but they went on strike on October 5th. And they've been replaced with, temporary workers. But they went on strike for more money and for more benefits. Kellogg said no to the union leaders, and the union leaders who get paid by the union, even if the workers they represent aren't getting paid while they're on strike. Anyway, the union leaders voted to continue to strike. So Kellogg's voted to fire all the employees and then replace them with temporary workers, or actually what they're going to call now new permanent workers. Look, I may sound like I'm gloating here, and a part of me kind of is, but I do feel sorry for the workers who were forced to pay union dues to a union that got them fired. Yeah, think about it. It was the union that got them fired. Look, the workers cannot negotiate for themselves because that's the rules of a fascist union. That's how it works, right? That's the whole thing, right? All right, anyway, Kellogg's continues to make, they still make my favorite all-time cereal, Fruit Loops. And, of course, they also make the other great one, Frosted Mini Wheats. So I'm going to order some Fruit Loops today in honor of Kellogg's continuing their great company. All right. Beyond, look, maybe the price per box will go down. Hey, because the new workers won't be in the union, so it'll cost a little bit less. All right, I keep poking fun at unions, I'm going to get in trouble. Somebody's going to come here and beat me up soon. All right, Kellogg stock is a great dividend stock, by the way, and it hasn't moved much on the news of the strikes. So I'm going to tell you, I think it's a great play. I think you should continue. You should definitely get into it. Let's talk real quick about Visa and crypto. So cryptocurrencies keep getting closer to becoming the mainstream currency. And of course, Visa Corporation is trying to stay close to this imminent future by launching a new consulting and advisory service to help its clients navigate the world of cryptocurrencies. The payment processor said Wednesday its crypto advisory practice, housed within its consulting and analytics division, will offer advice to financial institutions, retailers, and other firms on everything from rolling out crypto features to exploring non-fungible tokens. Wow, that's going to be interesting. Anyway, the company is also developing products geared towards stablecoins. Now, I don't know if you know what stablecoins are. Stablecoins are basically virtual tokens that are tied to the value of the sovereign currency, typically the dollar. So it'll be a virtual dollar instead of a real dollar. It's amazing, right? Anyway, central bank issued digital currencies are also included as well. I still wonder if the crypto craze is going to continue to increase the value of cryptocurrency at the incredible pace it's been in the past. So crypto has been going crazy lately. Look, I don't care if it just goes up a quarter of the pace, it'll be remarkable. Look, have you invested in anything in crypto? Let me know online. If you're watching online, please let me know if you've invested in anything in crypto. We'll get back to it in a couple of minutes. Put it in the comments if you're investing in anything in crypto, in Ethereum or Bitcoin or Shiba. Let me know. We'll be back to you in just a couple of minutes. I'll see you then.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse. Real quick, let's jump into the futures. The futures are down. No, they're not down. They're just down from where they were at the peak. The peak was almost 200, and they're only up 77. The S&P is up about 12, and the NASDAQ is up about 51. And this is pretty much what I thought was going to happen. I think we're going to have a pullback today. I still don't think that, even though we had some, interesting fake news, if you want to call it, about the Pfizer vaccine. If you take 3 shots, you'll be protected from Omicron. Yeah, right. Whatever you say. Anyway, so that will actually, I actually don't think it's going to keep up, but we'll see. It'd be great if it does. We talked a little bit about crypto before, and a couple of people online said that they've been investing in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Algorand, Shiba, and Tommy's telling me he could actually pay on his bills with Ethereum, which is kind of neat. All right, so coming up, we're going to be talking about today's top picks and plays. But first of all, did you guys hit that share button? Come on, Tommy. Come on, Mick. Come on, Wendy. Did you hit that share button? Hit that share button. Let everybody know what great stock plays are coming by sharing this information. And, of course, you could share to your page in groups. And basically, these people in the groups will also benefit from what's going on. All right, here we go. Oh, by the way, Mick's in AMP. I'm in AMP as well. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And, of course, you guys can leave comments on Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. And if you're listening on WWDB Radio, set one of your presets to this channel and listen every day at 7:30 for all you need to know about politics behind the stock market. All right, real quick, I'm going a little bit behind, so let's talk about this really quick and what's happening. So first of all, yesterday and the day before were great days, so expect the market to take another breather, like I said, the next couple of days. And, we talked about the debt ceiling issue, although it's not a problem. We do have 2 other looming issues. The first one is, of course, the big bad Omicron variant. And the second, however, may become an issue in a few days. It's possible that the Russia-Ukraine war issue, We talked about this, and President Braindead is basically loyal to the Ukraine. And, after all, they paid him. And his son, Hunter, they paid him millions of dollars and billions of dollars. But, then, of course, he has the conflict of Americans buying oil from Russia because Braindead closed the refineries and the pipeline. So this means he'll have to pick a side soon. He could pick the Ukraine and protect his pocket, or he could take sides with Russia and protect the pockets of all Americans. I guess we already know what he's going to do. So expect oil prices to skyrocket from this, and as the missiles or other invasion enters the Ukraine, watch the market for a drop, because it's going to happen when it happens. Watch it for the next couple of days. All right, so real quick, that being said, I like the oil stock plays. Of course, we also talked over and over again about the travel stock plays. They're all going to be a great play. AAL, CCL, RCL, DAL, and of course, hotels and resort stocks are also a play. Wyndham and Hyatt come to mind. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, Apple continues to be unstoppable, and it'll probably go to 200 before February, and Meta is going to be another one. Meta, which is Facebook, is going to continue to rise as well. I think it's going to be an awesome play. So stick to it. Crypto is kind of hanging out there, not doing much. My Shibas are right 36 millionth of a cent, and AMP is about 5.5 cents. And of course, gold and silver are settling as well. I want to thank all the listeners on WWDB Radio, and we look forward to your continued support. This is Larry Steinhouse. If you're online watching live on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn or YouTube, I also want to thank you for your continued support. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. Hey, did you guys hit that share button yet? Come on now. From time to time, I also want to say that I own some of the assets and options discussed in this show. The opinions discussed in this show is solely mine, and no one has asked me to discuss them. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and I want to make sure that you guys have an awesome and profitable day. We'll see you soon.